Albert Woodfox. Albert Woodfox was a part of the Angola three black prisoners who were held in solitary confinement in the Louisiana State Penitentiary. Woodfox was indicted for the murder of a corrections officer, although no forensic evidence linked him to the crime. Authorities' argument depended on witnesses who over time were proven unreliable or discredited. Woodfox would spend 42 years in solitary confinement and in 2019 would be coerced into a plea deal and let free. Elaine Brown. Elaine Brown grew up in North Philadelphia with her mom. She would later move to Los Angeles to pursue a music career. There she would become involved with the Black Panther Party and help set up the first free breakfast for children program, as well as the first free busing to prisons and free legal aid programs. Brown moved up the ranks quickly, and from 74 to 77 was the party's commander-in-chief. In 78, Brown left the party in protest of Huey P. Newton's disciplinary actions. Mutulu Shakur. Since the age of 16, Mutulu Shakur was a part of the New African Independence Movement. From 78 to 82, Mutulu managed a detox program which treated thousands of poor and elderly patients throughout the Bronx. Police would later close it down, claiming it was mismanaged. Mutulu Shakur is well known for being Tupac Shakur's stepfather. Assata Shakur. Assata Shakur was pulled over by New Jersey police, shot twice, and charged with the murder of a police officer. Assata Shakur spent 6.5 years in prison before escaping and moving to Cuba. In her own words, "I was left no other choice than to flee from the political repression, racism, and violence that dominates the U.S. government's policy towards people of color. I am not a criminal, nor have I ever been one." To this day, Assata Shakur still lives in exile in Cuba. George Jackson. At the age of 16, George Jackson was accused of stealing $71 from a gas station. He was sentenced 1 year to life. Jackson was never granted parole and would spend the rest of his life in prison. After studying Mao Zedong, Frantz Fanon, and Fidel Castro, Jackson began politicizing the Black and Chicano prisoners of Soledad. Years later, Jackson would be killed during an uprising at San Quentin Prison. Angela Davis. Angela Davis gained international appeal during her imprisonment and trial on conspiracy charges in 1970. Davis beat her case and was acquitted of all charges by 1972. Davis has since then taught at UC Santa Cruz and remains a force in the social justice sector. Davis has been a Communist Party's vice president candidate and has received numerous awards, including the Soviet Union's Lenin Peace Prize. Huey P. Newton. In response to police brutality, racism, and to illustrate the need for Black self-reliance, Huey P. Newton, along with Bobby Seale, founded the Black Panther Party in Oakland, California in 1966. By the early 70s, the Panthers dedicated themselves to providing social services to the Black community, including free meals for children as well as health clinics. Sadly, August 1989, Huey P. Newton was found shot dead. Fred Hampton. Recently made famous in the movie Black Messiah, Fred Hampton was the deputy chairman of the Black Panther Party's Illinois chapter. He formed the city's first Rainbow Coalition, which was a multicultural collaboration between Blacks, Puerto Ricans, poor whites, as well as street gangs of Chicago. Fred Hampton was later killed during a Chicago PD raid of his apartment in 1969. Mumia Abu Jamal. In 1968, Mumia became one of the founding members of the Philadelphia's Black Panther Party chapter. Mumia outwardly criticized Philadelphia PD for their systematic racial bias and police brutality. Jamal was shot and beaten by police and then charged with first-degree murder. A witness on the case would later testify that police tore up his original statement and forced him into a statement indicting Mumia. To this day, Mumia is serving life in prison.